Hello Sagittarius, welcome to my channel. My name's Ella and I am doing a reading for February. I will be doing a reading once a month, so if for whatever reason this reading doesn't resonate with you today, that's completely okay. Just know that my guides are giving a message to those that really need to hear something right now. So just because it doesn't resonate today doesn't mean it won't the next reading. So definitely stick around for next month. I like to say that every sign kind of goes through a certain kind of vibe and energy, and it maybe take the reading and kind of place it where it kind of lands in your life, because everyone kind of goes through the same kind of theme. So keep that in mind when I'm doing the reading. I do have to say, Sagittarius, you guys are kind of going through it. So before I do my readings, I kind of like meditate, and then the cards that I do pull validate what I say and give me a little bit more information so I can give you more details. But the meditation I do, my guides kind of give me some kind of information that could kind of reiterate right now. And I'm getting a vibe right now for February that you're in your healing moment. I think you've went through it, really, not currently going through it. I think you went through a lot of ups and downs, a lot of like struggles, and you kind of like made it out, because you're definitely a fighter. And just know that your guides kind of see you and they want to validate you. But I don't feel necessarily that it's a negative thing. I think you're in the healing moment where it's just like, okay, here I am. I have a vision of just coming with like a nice cozy blanket and having a cup of coffee and just being like, okay, I need to relax. And that is perfectly okay. And as you should be taking the time to take care of yourself and really take the time to make plans for your next move, because I feel like you already are doing that. I feel like you're researching. I feel like there is something in the works for your next step, but right now you're in like your lazy moment, and I think that that is amazing, and a lot of people should take a page out of your book right now. And you know what, give yourself that break. The new year and the old year has ended, the new year has begun, and that has been a year, I want to say, for most of you. Not in a good way. That's okay. Kind of learned our lessons, and honestly, I think that is another thing you're doing. You're kind of trying to decipher what is it that I need to learn from what I went through, and that is a beautiful thing. I give you guys props because not a lot of people kind of want to like sit in that moment and kind of like see again what they went through and kind of like pick apart what it is I need to know so that I never repeat this again. And y'all are really living in that moment right now, and it's almost peaceful. And I think that that's a really good vibe to start with for February. So what I'm going to do right now is pull some oracle cards, kind of give you like a gist of what the reading is going to look like, and then the tarot cards will come, and I will flip the camera so you can kind of see the cards laid out. We'll talk about everything and really get some kind of advice at the end of it. So let us see what messages Spirit wants to give you. Okay. Okay. What is this? Yeah. Okay, so a few cards kind of came out already, which means that you guys kind of like have a lot to say for you guys, which is nice. So the first three cards that I want to show you, first one is Charity and Teamwork, which I think go hand in hand. And then Shadow, the Shadow card, which makes so much sense. And what you don't see coming at the bottom of the deck is Closure. Okay, so yeah, it is very clear to me that y'all went through something last year. I'm getting I'm getting a lot. I mean, there's so many things that it could be, and I'm getting like 50-50. Like, normally I'm getting a message that it wants me to direct to like a certain group of people. I'm getting a lot of like, it could be family. I mean, it could be anything, right? But I'll just give you this scenario. The scenario is you and somebody else or a group of people kind of like work together to make something happen. Whether it be a project, whether you're helping another person with your friends, whether it be like your family project, you guys are doing something. I feel like there was like a collaboration and a lot of your time and energy went into it. And I feel like there was some kind of like a break apart. I don't know if it was like just an ending. It's just something that didn't end the way that you wanted it to. I don't It just wasn't the way that you were expecting it to go, and it kind of went like sideways. I just feel like you put in all this effort and all this time. You Yeah, you were a part of something that, kind of felt like it was almost like bigger than you, but like you were kind of giving a part of yourself that like just didn't need to happen. It's not like it was a waste of time, but it was just like, okay, my energy could have spent elsewhere. And I feel like this was like something important to you that kind of took like it was a long like this was like a span of time that you spent, whether it would be one person, a group of people. I feel like definitely a group of people, but it almost feels like maybe like a family thing. There's just so many avenues, but I think the theme is super important. And now it's kind of like you're, again, taking the time, like I said, in your like lazy healing stage, kind of like looking back and doing some work. And like that's what the shadow work is, healing a part of yourself. And it's almost, I really feel like this is something geared towards family more than anything. And I don't know why I keep thinking family, but it feels like trauma that like you realize, like, I guess, the holidays happen and you like are just going, like, you live alone away from your family, and then you come back to the holiday kind of a thing, and then you're just like re-traumatized by like your childhood like skunk, and I feel like you're trying to do the shadow work right now, and you're trying to look and be like, what can I break, like what kind of like lineage, past historical ancestral line of trauma do you need to break in order for you to never do like something like this or act like this or be this way or go through this again. There's just something that you're working inward, which is amazing, because I think in order to be our best selves, in order to align ourselves with what we want to manifest, we kind of have to do the work. And all that work is internal. It's not pointing fingers at other people, it's very much internal. And you're doing it. And I think that's amazing. Like, you are absolutely taking the time right now to just unwind, relax, and be like, okay, what do I learn from this? What do I do? Where do I go from this? And this is amazing. And I see, because at the bottom of the deck is what you don't see coming, and that's closure. You are going to get the closure that you need. You're not going to get it from anyone else. Like, closure really has to come from within. That's just my personal opinion. Like, you can't really force someone to see you and understand you and give you what you want, because they have their own feelings, they're going through their own stuff. Whatever your situation was, like, the closure needs to come for yourself. Like, accept what happened, accept the situation, and be like, this is who I am, I see who they are, I see the situation as it is, and I'm gonna just move on from that. But I do see you kind of getting that, because I think you do take the time to like learn about what just happened, because again, I think this was like a 2024 thing, and I do see you kind of like working on the next thing for yourself and being like, okay, moving on. But like right now, again, healing era. Let's pull some cards right now. See exactly what is going on for the month of February for you guys. Okay. Wow, they really do have a lot to say. This is great. Let me see if I can pull one more. Yeah, I mean, that makes so much sense. Okay, so right now I'm getting the Eight of Wands in reverse, the Swords, Eight of Swords in reverse, Two of Swords, Three of Swords, the Sun, and Six of Cups. So I'm going to flip this over so we can like look at all this and talk about it. So here we go. Here are the Oracle deck, the Tarot, and now seeing this Six of Cups, I am very much geared towards the direction that this is a family matter. And it does feel like post-holidays, like kind of seeing, as I think the learning, like the kind of like deciphering part of you guys that just wants to figure out why you are the way you are, why things are going the way that they're going, is because, you know, it's coming clear and you're kind of trying to do the shadow work right now. But I do feel like something did happen, whether it be over the holidays or just over a course of a year in 2024. There's something that you kind of put all your energy into. The Charity card, I know it's hard to kind of see, get the whole table view, but I feel like you put in something towards this family situation that kind of backfired or went sideways, where you had to look within. And we're going to go ahead now and start with these set of cards right here. So we're looking at the Eight of Swords. And the reversal meaning kind of gives me like you're releasing something, you're taking control over the situation, kind of, but just releasing it in the past and just the freedom of knowing. And I think that's coming from the shadow work, because again, I feel like with the Two of Swords, there was a direction, like two opposing sides that I don't even think you picked a side. I feel like there's something that happened in your family, and it obviously could be anything. It could be a partnership at work. It could be like a relational thing where it's your significant other. It could be that as well. But I'm truly getting the fact that whether it comes to family, like you had some kind of like opposing views and you just kind of didn't make a side. You were kind of just like, yeah, I see what's happening, because it was hard. This was a really tough situation. Like I said, you went through it. You kind of already, this happened already. You went through it. You're healing. You're in the healing phase. But it really wasn't a good situation. And a lot of it has to do with like trauma from childhood, the way things were handled, the way things were, and you're kind of like breaking away from it. These two cards kind of go hand in hand. And what you don't see coming at the bottom of the deck, which I think is probably the most, I don't know, I guess the best card in my opinion in the deck, in the tarot deck, but the Sun, which is really like a card with just happiness, success, just like joy, and it's the warmth of the card itself is what I'm seeing, because you're breaking some kind of lineage, like I don't want to say curse, but just something that's been passed on from generation to generation. Like, you're taking control over it. And I think that is beautiful. I am absolutely so proud of you. Um, this card specifically is really personal fulfillment. That's the way that I look at this card. Um, it's just filled with so much joy, so much confidence, and it's just well deserved because you're putting in the work right now. So what I see happening, like, I think the closure card specifically, again, you're not going to get the closure of where whoever kind of like gave you the heartbreaker, kind of like had this breakdown moment with you, they're not going to come back and be like, yeah, I did that. I messed up. This is how I am. I need to work on myself. They're probably not going to do that. The odds of that happening, very slim. And if it does happen, like, congratulations. You're one of the few that will ever receive that. But I think the closure really is going to come from within. And it's because you're going to do the work. And you're just going to see the situation for what it is. Now, I'm going to flip the camera so we can really talk more about that in detail. Okay, so here we are again, kind of just going to go over this really quickly and really get that message across. Your guides see everything that you've gone through. They know that you're healing and they're super proud of you for doing that. And I think I'm getting a vibe that a lot of you kind of wish that the other person, whoever it is, or group of people, or whatever the case may be, like, I feel like you kind of want the validation from them that they're crazy, or that they are messed up, or have messed up, or that they have done X, Y, and Z to make you feel this way, or that you grew up in a way that wasn't what you should have, like, how it should have happened. You know what I mean? Like, I think there's a lot of growth right now that you're going to be experiencing just having have lived through that. I think the last year prior, really, like, it was more of a realization towards the end of the year, I think. And it's always been, but I think, like, now it just kind of hit head and you're kind of like, okay, like, this is my next chapter. I need to heal from this and move on. I I promise you, you're not going to get the closure that you are expecting, but you can get closure if you kind of just get it from yourself. Just knowing that you know you went through this. You can validate that for yourself. And kind of like realizing, like, yeah, you went through this. This pain is real. Like, it, whatever you've experienced, however you experienced it, if you can give yourself that closure and you take the time that you are taking to heal, which again, super proud of, you're going to get the sun, which is all happiness, joy, abundance, warmth, that comfy, cozy feeling. I truly believe that you're doing the work right now, and I'm super, super proud of you. Know that you are on the right path, that you are doing exactly what you need to do. Don't feel guilty for taking the time off to just kind of like have, like, I feel like you might also have like a laundry list of things to do, but don't feel guilty about it. I think this is supposed to happen. Like, everything happens for a reason. It's just the way things are going to pan out for your next chapter. And I think your next reading, I feel like, is going to be very good because I think you will take the time to really process everything, heal, and just start the next chapter. And I think you're already making plans, like I said in the beginning. I feel like you're already planning the next move. And this doesn't mean that there's anything, like, again, I'm just getting this card and I really feel like it is a family and it is geared to family. It might not be, but I am getting the feeling that it is a family type affair kind of thing. Doesn't mean that you never will see your family again. I just think that you're going to have a realization of, like, where you can put this feeling and then never let it bother you again. Because you realize people are human, and the only thing that you can control is what you can control for yourself. You can't make anyone else be anything. They have their own life lessons to learn, and it seems like you're kind of taking a stance of, like, I don't really want to make a decision kind of right now, or like if there was like a fight and there was like two opposing sides, you're kind of just like, all right, I'm kind of like not getting involved in this anymore. Like, this is kind of ridiculous. They have their lessons to learn. It is not your job to help them make their decisions or change their life or whatever the case, whatever that scenario is for you. It is not your job to do that. You're just here to support and protect yourself. You support them, protect yourself. Again, family, it's going to be hard to kind of like walk away from completely, and I know some people can do that and do that, but that's not a necessary, like, that is not a thing that I see, that you're just, oh, I'm never seeing my family again. I just think you're just kind of learning for yourself what it is that you need to do. Again, such a beautiful thing. So keep on doing what you're doing right now. Stay on the path, continue the journey. Again, super proud of you, and your guys are super proud of you. Just know that you are supported. That being said, I hope this reading was helpful in some extent, and definitely come back for the next one to see where your healing has kind of gone and what are you going to be progressing in next. But I appreciate you taking the time to honestly see my first video, and this is going to be a journey for me as well. So thank you for supporting me. But yes, stay wild and stay witchy, guys. See you on the next one.